it ain't that easy leaving home and doing that, going to a foreign country and trying to prepare for a show. And I mean, I would have thought everything would have been fine, but
What's up guys and welcome. You're watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, I'm gonna start this video with some news that you guys certainly will not like. So throughout this build-up of the Arnold Classic South America, specifically these last few weeks, I have been mentioning there has been no training or physique updates from Carlos Thomas Jr. We haven't seen anything from him either on the Instagram or on his YouTube channel as well. The last time we heard from him was roughly 3.5 weeks back, confirming that he is doing the Arnold Brazil. He himself confirmed that. The story was posted on his Instagram. But for the last couple of weeks, we were all a little suspicious on why Carlos isn't putting anything out there. No physique updates, not even a training update. But there was also this thought process that maybe he is so focused on nailing his peak on the show day that he doesn't want social media to distract him. He's digging deep and he just want to focus on the prep. But unfortunately, he is out of the show. And all credits to Chris Cormier who broke this news on the Menace podcast today.
not in it.
Who's not? He's been in Brazil this whole time training.
We're home.
Did he get homesick? Is it? Guys, what? What? I see.
Now this isn't the first time Carlos pulled out of the show. Last year when he was prepping for his pro debut at the Neo Pro, he had to pull out of that show as well because of a condition called ulcerative colitis. So what happens in this situation is that you develop ulcers or your large intestine gets inflamed, which leads to diarrhea, blood in the stool, and stomach pain of course. And apparently it triggers when Carlos gets closer to the show and when the stress gets high. So Carlos is back home to get his health in check and see what later show he can possibly do. So last year we saw him change his schedule from competing in May at the Neo Pro all the way to August, where he competed at Texas Pro. So it is really unfortunate that he is putting all his time, effort and money into this prep and he's being forced to sit out of the show because of something he cannot control. So sad news for the bodybuilding fans. Carlos could really have been a wild card here at the show. The guy is really big, he's so muscular, so athletic. Plus his match with Tonio Burton could have been really interesting because this was the match that was supposed to happen at the Neo Pro as well last year. So let's talk about the guys who are most probably gonna be number 1 and number 2 here at the Arnold Classic South America, Tonio Burton and Rafael Brandao. So Tonio Burton put an update out less than a week out of the show. And I have to say, if he's able to build up his chest in the future, that is gonna be like a perfect physique. Everything flows so well for Tonio. The shape that he has, the aesthetics that he presents, everything is top notch. And what's great about Tonio is that he is so impressive from the back. Actually more impressive from the back than he is from the front. And that is something which is very rare, especially in the men's open bodybuilding. Just look at your top 5 from the Olympia 2023. Except for Derek Lunsford, every other guy, Holly Chopin, Samson Dauda, Andrew Jacked, even Brendan Carey, they aren't as impressive in their back shots as they are from the front. Some have problem in their upper half, some have problem in their lower half. But Tonio Burton is so damn complete top to bottom from the back. And not just his back. Tonio Burton possesses so many great qualities, like the texture of his skin that is so thin, and that helps him showcase the details that other guys cannot. He has those flaring quads, and couple that with a very small and tiny waist. And the guy is one of the most aesthetic guy out there. So he's gonna be a few pounds heavier than he was at the Olympia last year. So we are about to see the best ever Tonio Burton at the Arnold Classic Brazil stage. An interesting statistic about Tonio Burton from this past Mr. Olympia, where he placed top 8, is the fact that he was the lightest of all the guys who finished top 10. And that too by a mile. It is all about creating that illusion on the stage, and Tonio Burton has all the tools to do that. Neil Hill, the coach of Rafael Brandao, published an update. So they are obviously in the final stages of the depletion mod, but we have seen that even Rafael Brandao on low carbs, he still looks all round and 3D and bubbly and so full. So those insane pictures that were released before the Arnold Classic Ohio, when he posed after doing a chest workout, they were really insane, especially in the context that Rafael Brandao was on low carbs for days before taking those pictures, before that photo shoot. And yet he looked so damn bubbly and so enormous. So Rafael Brandao is still the favorite going into this year's Arnold Brazil. So both Tonio Burton and Rafael have similar traits. They have similar qualities. Both of these guys are very aesthetic, they have very nice flows. But Rafa is just a bigger guy. So one thing is certain, looking at that crazy level of conditioning that Tonio is about to bring, the margin of error for Rafael Brandao and his team is next to none. But considering that Rafael Brandao had another 4 weeks to diet post-Ohio, he's gonna be better here. He's gonna be more diced, he is gonna be more conditioned. And now there are not one but two set of eyes, Neil Hill as well as Flex Lewis, watching Rafael Brandao nail his peak. So let's talk about the guy who is gonna be making his pro debut here at Arnold Brazil. So what did you guys think? How big of a factor Goodvito will be here at the Arnold Classic South America? Well, as of right now, it is all speculation because we cannot really predict, because the guy hasn't stood next to any IFB pros before. If he is able to crack top 3 here, that would be a good accomplishment. So we haven't seen any proper physique updates from Goodvito in almost 1.5 weeks. So how well Goodvito is gonna do, that is gonna depend on one factor, his back development. Because conditioning wise, I think he's gonna be on. He's being coached by Vito, and we all know Vito is an old school coach. So it's gonna make him suffer, it's gonna make him dig deep. So conditioning wise, I think Goodvito is gonna be on. William Martins, another Brazilian, is looking to bring a much tighter, much more conditioned package compared to his last showing, which was the Legion Sports 2023. So he is the odd man in this lineup, considering that he has a wide waist, especially compared to the other 3 guys that I just mentioned. So we all know he is really gonna struggle in the front shorts, especially the front relaxed and the front double biceps. So if you think about it, he has a total of 2 good poses, the side chest and the most muscular. The problem with William Martins is that he has excellent individual body parts, like his quads are awesome, his shoulders are great, but when you have a wide waist, it becomes such a focal point of your physique, and it really stands out, and not in a good way, and that is why the judges mark you down. Just look at Hassan Mustafa. He might be one of the most muscular guy in the men's open bodybuilding at the moment, but he lacks those wide lats, and he doesn't have a very small waist, and that is why it is highly unlikely that Hassan will ever make as high as top 8 at the Olympia level, especially if everyone is on. So it could happen a better show with Carlos Thomas Jr. in there. Nonetheless, let's cheer for the guys who are actually there, and let's hope that we get to see a good show here. Lastly, we have an update from Jon De La Rosa, roughly 2.5 weeks post Arnold Classic UK, and also the confirmation that he isn't doing Detroit Pro. So winning a pro show this year and getting to the Olympia qualification, that is still the aim, that is still on the list. So why Jon decided not to go for Detroit Pro, which was pretty much in his striking range? Well, after getting the feedback from the judges that they want him to put on more muscle if he wants to be top 10 at the Olympia level, he's gonna go back to the drawing board. But he's gonna stay within a striking range and do a show closer to the Olympia and take it from there. So Jon had an incredible year so far. 4th at the Arnold Classic Ohio, 4th at the Arnold Classic UK, but more important than that, bringing his absolute best at the age of 40 and getting a chance to stand next to a former Mr. Olympia Tonio Bon. That has motivated the hell out of him. So Jon was so shredded in Ohio. I mean, conditioning wise, he went toe to toe with a guy like Tonio Bon, who we all know has the best conditioning out there. And Jon was shredded top to bottom, front to back. He really isn't missing anything. So him and his coach Patrick have found the right formula, because it's their 5th show together, and they have gotten better and better with every single show. So the last time Jon competed at the Olympia stage was back in 2019. So it is more than likely that Jon will be on the Olympia stage in 2024. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.